You could accept the fact that the city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. Ladies is Old Testament, yeah, Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire and brimstone hang down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling. Earthquakes, volcanoes, the pit rising from the grave. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. Vegetarian.
Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone for joining in. The phone number, of course, as always, 804-289-UR90. 804-289-8790. You're sitting there probably wondering, where have you been the last hour? Well, I was watching the sunrise at Sandbridge. What were you doing? We were up at what time were we up? We were up what time? Yeah, we were up late. Or no, we were up early. Well, we watched the sunrise. Well, I posted it on my Instagram. At Sam Newsman on Instagram. We do have the Instagram, the Sam Cam. The Sam Cam is live. The Sam Cam is live on two channels right now. We have the Sam Cam live here, and then we have the Sam Cam live over here on YouTube. Yeah, so we have one camera here and then the one camera over there. So there's two cameras. So if you did want to see us, you can see us on both, like I said, YouTube, and then also here on Instagram. Sam Newsman on YouTube. Well, just you could find it, Sam Newsman on YouTube. So here we are. It's Saturday morning. Yes, I know people were I had people all over the place saying, "Where are you? Where are you? Are you coming on?" And yes, it was. But like I said, I was looking at a magnificent sunrise. A magnificent sunrise this morning. Got up at about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning to go watch the sunrise. Been doing it the last couple of years here on the 13th day of August, and we'll talk about exactly why that is, or maybe the producer might at the end of the show. Happy birthday, Mandy. Happy birthday, Mandy. That's right. So 17 years old. Happy birthday, Mandy. So, well, it seems like I haven't been here forever. Well, I mean, when you're sitting there and you're doing radio every day for 18 days straight, then you take a break, then it does feel like you're not here forever. But then all of a sudden I sit there and I look at the news. Of course, every morning I grab the newspaper on the way in here. What do I see? And what do my wondering eyes should appear but news from D.C. with more nonsense, I fear. Yes. Okay, so you saw exactly what happened. We all saw what happened. We all saw what went down, right? Yeah. They had another baseball game. They had another baseball game at the Field of Dreams. Yeah. And they did a shout out to Ray Liotta. Mm-hmm. What did you think I was going to talk about? That was the news, right? Oh, you want me to talk about that other news? Let's see what exactly. Hold on. So here we go. So I went down to the beach this morning. Let's see if we got it here. Okay, let's see. Down to the beach. Let's see. Also, once again, just real quickly, we are broadcasting live WDCE 90.1 FM. WDCE 90.1 FM. Download the Simple Radio app. Download the Simple Radio app if you want to be able to listen to the show. That means the cartoon themes and the movie themes and the other themes that we're going to play, of course. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Also broadcasting live on YouTube, simulcasting, setting the standard, raising the bar, because that's what we do here. And of course, like I said, download the Simple Radio app. You can go to WDCE.org. WDCE.org. You can listen to the stream there as well. So here we go. So the Virginia Pilot. So, usually I have the Richmond Times-Dispatch or usually the New York Times, Washington Post. But here we go. We have the Virginia Pilot. The Virginia Pilot. Virginia Pilot being you see that over here? Hold on. There we go. You over there. Yes. There we go. And the Virginia Pilot being, of course, one of the newspapers here in the state, but this is down by where the beach is. So the Virginia Pilot down by the beach. Feds crash counterfeit stock market. Okay, well, that sounds interesting. U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents recently seized another weird item and nabbed about $4.5 million worth of counterfeit diabetic socks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. What, you thought I was going to talk about other stuff? No, we're talking about counterfeit diabetic socks. I mean, nothing is more exciting on a Saturday morning than the first story that you read is the one down. So this is what they care about down at the beach. You know, the rest of the nation is burning, and they're worried about counterfeit diabetic socks. Well, no, I'm sure. Well, listen, I'm sure that they needed to get. Well, we don't want diabetic counterfeit socks going anywhere. No, that's a bad thing. No, we don't want that to happen. Counterfeit diabetic sock, because people need those. We don't want counterfeit diet. You know what I'm saying is because you've been sitting there hearing other news all week long about jack boots and raids and this, that, and the third, right? Well, I mean, listen, I'm just telling you what they care about down at the beach. I mean, is that all this? Is down at the beach? They're worried about these diabetic counterfeit socks, and that's as they should be. As they should be. Inflation can be deflating. No, but there's no such thing as inflation. No. The economy is booming. Pay no attention to any of that. And of course, all that other jazz. Classified data seized from Trump. We won't talk about that just yet. I don't know about that. No, we'll save that. We'll save the. You want to save? We'll save the FBI stuff. We'll save the FBI stuff for the top of next hour. Okay, well, so we'll save that. So we'll save the FBI stuff for the top of next hour. So then, all right. So if that's not the case, then what kind of? So is that really what they have? Mistrial declared for cop charged with manslaughter. Norfolk off-duty officer claims self-defense and shooting of a mentally ill man in 2020. Ugh, man. Oh, happy Saturday for that. Listen, this is okay. Listen, we don't want to get into that. Again, I'm just trying to read exactly what is here in the Virginia Pilot. I don't ever really get the Virginia Pilot. So I figured that if I had the Virginia Pilot, I would sit there and have it right here and show it around there. But there's nothing really there. There's nothing really there. So what do we have else? We have the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Kane says the city owes a clear explanation for the alleged shooting plot. Oh, ooh, that's juicy. That's juicy. So that's a local story. Not many people understand about what's going on locally. Here locally, we had a little bit of an issue where there was an alleged plot where there was going to be a mass shooting at Dogwood Dell. Dogwood Dell is a little theater park over by the river. No, but now all of a sudden the police chief and the mayor, they say, well, we're using executive privilege. It's done now. It's in the hands of the feds. And so, of course, now the question is what exactly was going to go on? Because now all of a sudden they said that it wasn't going to be in Dogwood Dell, or maybe it was. We don't know. Listen, I don't know. Listen, hey, it doesn't bother me. All I'm doing is just reading what's on the newspaper. I mean, that's all I do. I'm just reading the front page. Reading the front page. Trump estate held top secret records. Like I said, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little. Congress okays Democrats' health bill by triumph. So they passed some legislation. Something about Green New Deal energy, something or another, but I'm not really concerned about that. Us puppets breathe a different type of air than you do out there in human land. Although everyone sits there and calls humans puppets, and here I am, a real media puppet on the radio, broadcasting live, once again, WDCE 90.1 FM, and also, like I said, the Simple Radio app as well. Shout out to everyone who is joining in Instagram land. We got the Sam Cam over here. I see Animal Mother Customs just showed up. I see Triple D, Lone Dragon, Toy Collector Goon, a couple of other people there down in Jason Lee. I can't see exactly who else is in there. Anyway, shout out to all of you. Once again, at Sam NewsMan on Instagram. We have the Sam Cam running up. People always sit there and they wonder. It's like, well, Sam, how are you if you're just saying that if you're a puppet and you're on the radio, how can I see you? Well, you can see us by going to @SamNewsMan on Instagram. Shout out to Astray. Shout out to Astray. And then all you can sit there and there's a whole group of people in there already watching. They're in there from all over the country. So that's one of the things that other people don't realize. We're broadcasting live all over the country, and people are listening to this show all over the country. And of course, we appreciate that everyone listens to this show from all over the country. What I mean by that is there's people up north, there's people down south, there's people from the East Coast to the middle of the country. Skydro, let's go. Save 15% when you use the code Skydro at extremesets.com. But yes, so like I said, from sea to shining sea, there are people all over the country listening to the show. And of course, they're listening to it several different ways. The best way, of course, is if you're listening to us online. You have a browser opened up to the actual radio show, the live stream feed. What I mean by that is the live stream radio feed. Well, because we're about to play some cartoon songs, right? Exactly. Shout out to Daredevil as well in the chat. But here we are. Like I said, here we are. If you go to wdce.org, you can listen to the live stream. Download the Simple Radio app. But then also, like I said, @SamNewsMan on Instagram, and you can see us live. You can see me live, and I'm here live. I'm a real puppet. I'm also broadcasting live on YouTube. There's a YouTube camera right here. So just having a backup, just because you never know. You never know. Now, I was supposed to have some things scheduled for this morning. I was talking to Deep Cut Dave. I got an email from Deep Cut Dave. But unfortunately, I do not have any of that stuff queued up. And so So Deep Cut Dave, we're going to have to hold on till next week. Hold on to next week, because this week was a little bit crazy, so I do apologize for that. So Deep Cut Dave, just hold on. I do have still those cartoon themes. Yeah, I still have them. We'll get to them. Maybe not this week, though. Maybe not this week. Well, we got to get to something. We do need to get to something. You have something queued up? It's kind of cartoonish. What do you mean it's kind of cartoonish? What does that mean? It's retro. It's retro, and then it comes. What? Okay, all right. So it's queued up and ready. So we do have something queued up and ready. The guys on the other side of the glass, they're not telling me what. They're not exactly telling me what they're doing. But we're going to be back here in just a few moments. We'll read the rest of this the Senator Kane article. Let's see what he says about that. We'll talk about Orange 45. Maybe we'll talk about Orange 45. But one of the things that I do need to talk about is the fact that I think that I've given up G.I. Joe Classified. I think I've given up G.I. Joe Classified. And I'll talk about that on the other side of the song thing. So anyways, what I was telling you earlier, if you want to sit there and 15%, go to extremesets.com. Use the code SKYDRO, SKYDRO. When I say you leave, when I say you go to, I see you guys are throwing stuff at me. You guys are throwing stuff at me here. So you guys stop it. I'm trying to read an ad spot. Save 15% when you use the code SKYDRO. That's SKYDRO at extremesets.com. Once again, your photographs may not be as good as Skydro Walker on Instagram, which you can follow at Skydro Walker on Instagram, but you can at least save 15% when you take pictures of your own toys by using the code SKYDRO, SKYDRO at extremesets.com. And also, what was that? Yeah, give your garbage another life. Learn how and I want to be recycled.org. A message by Keeping America Beautiful and the Ad Council. Make sure we say all of those two as well. So we'll be back, like I said, on the other side of this break. Got a couple of songs here ready to play. And we'll be back after this in just a few moments. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios at the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Of course, as always, at Sam Newsman on Instagram. At Sam Newsman on Instagram. At Sam Newsman on Twitter. We're also here on YouTube. Once again, of course, simulcasting. That's what all the big boys do. Simulcasting, of course, across multiple different media. Yeah, of course, that's what we do. Of course, that's what we're doing. So like I said, Instagram, we're here live on Instagram. We're also here live on YouTube as well. So shout out to everybody out there, and once again, happy Saturday morning. I was sitting there I was going to discuss, of course, my love of G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, a real American hero. The cartoon, not the toy line. The toy line, of course. Everybody always wants to talk about O-rings. Everybody wants to talk about O-rings and toys. It wasn't a toy line. It was a vehicle line disguised as a toy line. I know, listen, that's not me trying to give a hot take here. That's just me just being honest. I mean, that's what it is. It's a toy. It's a vehicle line disguised as a toy line. And of course, so here I was. So a couple of years back, I was the one that sat there and dropped a firebomb on Twitter. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this whole line ended up having a snafu. I do have the old tweets from that. There's history on that when Target messed up. And then all of a sudden there was a big brouhaha. And of course, now I'm sitting there wondering, you have until Monday to get the Hiss tank. Question is, are you going to get the Hiss tank? I've not gotten it yet. Only reason why that I've sat there and not gotten it yet is because it's $300. And then all of a sudden you have to sit there and then add tax on it. Hasfail's going to sit there and slap a bunch of tax on it, and then all of a sudden you're going to have shipping. Before you know it, it's $370 by the time it's going to show up. And by the way, that's for you to pre-order it, for you not to get it for another 12 months. It might be until next year when you get it. But of course, there is that whole adage that if I were to get it and then I were to flip it, could possibly double how much I even actually paid for it to begin with. But of course, I would have to wait a year. I've not done that yet, but it reminds me of the old days when you used to go to a mall. And you used to go to toy stores and toy stores in the mall. Some of those were quite magical. KB Toy Store. You remember KB? KB Toy Store was a magical place in the mall. But you would go to those places and you would then go to the G.I. Joe section and they would have all the G.I. Joes there. Of course, now you don't have any G.I. Joes anywhere. Hell, you don't even have any malls. But okay, so what was that? We have a phone call. Oh, yes, it's been a while. It has been a while. Okay, yeah, so they're waiting. Okay, so hold on. Let's. So we have TNT Nate. TNT Nate, of course, here on the phone. TNT Nate, can you hear me?
I can. How you doing, Sam?
Hey, TNT Nate. Listen, it has been a while, but I was told through the grapevine that you had a birthday this week. So happy birthday to you. You are now, what is it? You're 23? So now it was 20, 23. 23. 23, that is the number of Michael Jordan, and you are still jumping in the air with your tongue hanging out and dunking basketballs in your Jordans, and I'm sure that is the case as well. TNT Nate, listen, it's been a while, and I know we wanted to talk about some conspiracies because you seem to have your pulse on a whole bunch of different things. So I was wondering, so first of all, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And so what have you got? What has been cooking in the TNT Nate labs lately in terms of what you have your eye on?
Listen, this week has just been about fun. Although I always have my radar, there's always something pops up on my radar. I mean, how can you not see every news channel, every website, everybody has an opinion on the Mar-a-Lago raid. Well, I mean, we all remember that Trump's been working with the FBI since 1981. That's not even worth it. It's all, you know what? Your show said the best damn infotainment. So
that's right.
It's just like we're watching a show that's been pre-planned, right?
Correct.
What question is that?
Well, no, I was like saying, you're absolutely correct. But I know that there's got to be a deep conspiracy that you have that's been cooking. There's got to be something. Tell me, there's got to be what has really been kind of making you scratch your head or sitting there making you say, aha, this is what's coming down the pike.
There's so many. So I'm just going to touch on a few things, and then I'm going to talk about what's really on my mind. The one thing I wanted to say, well, I'll get to that in a second. But,
what? You're just gonna leave me hanging like that? Oh my gosh! Okay.
So I feel like this week is just supposed to be all about fun. So next week, why don't we talk about like the major conspiracies? You know, Simpsons season 28, episode 4, Ivanka 2028. Why don't we get into that next week? That would be fun. And we can talk about Klaus Schwab and all his old buddies, how they're helping make that happen, and their connection to the FBI too. But you know, this week, what's really on the radar are malls. Because I think, Sam, that malls are going to make a huge comeback. And as an ex-mall rat, if you guys don't know what mall rats are, it was just kids, us kids, back in the 80s and 90s that just hung out at malls all day, just hanging out. Every little penny that we had, we spend there too, but we just hung out. But they're on a comeback, Sam. Mark my words.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Did you just say that? You said malls. You're talking about malls like you're talking about the malls, those buildings that are empty now that I get on my Instagram feed where there's nothing in there. They're all just deteriorating. Those malls.
Those malls. I don't know if they're. You know what? What a better time to buy, right? These things look like modern day ruins, but the mall life, the mall rat life is coming back. I mean, look at Amazon in Las Vegas. Already has Amazon style. They call it smart shopping. You use an app, pick your items, they have it ready. They have smart dressing rooms with your items already there for you. Malls are coming back, Sam. Malls are coming back. Even
malls are not. The only way that malls are. Listen, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The only way that malls are coming back is in your Call of Duty and zombie video game. That's the only time that there is. Listen, and of course, here you go. Listen, the only time that I sit there and think about malls. In fact, when I'm looking and I'm scrolling through my feed and I see all these before and after mall pictures, the after pictures are what's happening today, and it looks like they've already been taken over by the zombies. And you're telling me that they're going to make these things are coming back?
I'm telling you right now, I don't know if it's going to be in 2022, but look, big chains like Nordstrom, they have these things called pop-ins where they have designers come in. And so they're going to make it interactive. I mean, as soon as they realize that the metaverse is soaking up their money, their life, and they're not even interacting properly, they're going to want some contact. I'm telling you.
Wait a minute, but that is the contact. That's the modern day contact. The metaverse is the mall of the future, and of course, that's where we're all going to go. You just need to just strap on your goggles, take your whatever medications that puts you to sleep, and then go ahead and just check right into the metaverse. That's where your malls are going to be. Don't listen. I know that you want to sit there and think about the good old days, running around the malls, and of course, I brought up KB Toy Store, running into KB Toy Stores and running up and down the escalators, 2-story malls. Those were some of the most fantastic ones, but that have all been relegated to nothing more than a level in a Call of Duty zombie map. So listen, they're not. How am I wrong?
A 40,000 person occupancy museum, an art museum.
What?
In their mall. Hudson Yards in New York has so many people going to the mall now that they have nap pods because people get tired. They're at the mall so long. I'm telling you, Sam, it's making a comeback. And as much as I'm out in the country, listen, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm literally in the prettiest place in the world, in Kentucky, and I'll stay out in the country. But anything that brings kids off of their screens and out of those dumb goggles and back in the malls, I'm all for it. I'm telling you. And you know what? They're even starting to take alternate currencies at all these malls, because that's happening. That would be another show. We can talk about the currency conspiracy, absolutely. But I'm telling you, that's what's on my radar, and it got me excited to see the new generation going back to malls. I'm telling you.
The mall conspiracy, you heard it first here with TNT Nate. Once again, happy birthday to you, 23. Once again, Michael Jordan, number 23 forever, jumping from the free throw line. So, but I want to give you a shout out, Nate. So thank you so much, of course. And of course, here at malls. I don't know about that, but listen, we'll definitely follow up next. We'll follow up in a few weeks. Maybe we'll follow. Listen, okay. We'll follow up during Christmas, see if some malls have come back and if people are ice skating in the ice skating rinks in a mall. We'll see about that in a couple months. TNT Nate, thank you so much. You can follow him at TNT Nate on Instagram. Of course, living out in the most beautiful areas out in Kentucky. And once again, Nate, thank you so much for being a part of the show. And happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you, Sam. Have a wonderful day, listeners. I'm out.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, TNT Nate calling deep from the mountains and the river streams in Kentucky. About 7.5 hours away from where I'm at right now. About 7.5 hours away. Well, we could maybe one day go out to where we did. We're going there for a whole weekend, maybe about 3-4 days. Yeah, do some paddle boarding down on the rivers, something like that. Shout out, of course, to everybody in the chat. I see a bunch of people. We are broadcasting on YouTube. Had some feedback here saying that the YouTube stream is a little bit better than the Instagram stream. But we are broadcasting live on Instagram. Also, Sam NewsMan on YouTube. Sam NewsMan on YouTube. Here you go, right over there. Shout out to, of course, Kato, Daredevil, Lone Dragon over here. Go figure, go. Chattown, USA. Chattown, USA. You know what? I never really play anything hold on. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Now all of a sudden I have the phone that's calling up again. I have the phone. Okay, I'll get the phone. Okay. All right, hold on. I have to get the phone. Hold on. Okay, listen. I picked up the phone. Caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, man. Deep Cut Dave.
Deep Cut Dave. Listen. Did you get my message? Did you hear me at the beginning of the show about what I said?
Sadly, no.
All right. Well, what I was saying is that today I didn't start the show. I didn't see it. So anybody who wants to know real quick. Deep Cut Dave, sending out the deepest of cuts when it comes to shows, cartoons, theme songs, and everything. But Deep Cut Dave. So listen, I ended up showing up about an hour late today. But that's okay. I'm still going to keep broadcasting for the next hour. But I told everybody at the top of the show that I did have some things in my back pocket that you sent me because we talked on email, off record, if you know. So I do have those, but I don't have them queued up because this morning I ended up going to the beach and watched a beautiful sunrise, which was amazing. So that way I ended up starting the show late, but I do have it all queued up for next week. So Deep Cut Dave, I do thank you for calling the show, and I do have everything up and running for next week. But it was, like I said, a little bit of a curveball this morning by going and watching a beautiful sunrise. And you said, aren't you down in South Carolina?
Yes, I am.
So how far are you away from the coast?
Maybe 2.5, 3 hours.
So, and that's one of the things, when you're living here on the East Coast, it's quite an amazing thing when you're not that too far away from the ocean or the beach. Deep Cut Dave, do you like going to the beach?
Well, put it this way, I like going, but I don't think the beach likes me.
Yeah, you know what? The beach doesn't like me either, and that's why I always have to get an umbrella. People are always like, "Hey, you want to come to the beach?" And I always tell them, "Oh, if you have an umbrella, I'll show up." But
Every time I go to the beach, it's like, oh, now there's a giant swarm of jellyfish.
Oh no!
Water spout hitting the hotel.
Oh my God, jellyfish! Jellyfish!
Yeah. I mean, they go down. I think it was Buffalo Shores in Alabama. Like, oh yeah, go right into the water, and the water is pink as far as you can see.
Oh yeah, that's scary. And you know that I've also heard that shark attacks are now up now too. And you know what? And I heard also, here's another statistic: a third of the population here in America are afraid to go into the ocean. Why? For for shark attacks. For shark attacks. That's it. A third of the population will not get into the ocean. And of course, I dipped my toes in there this morning. It was the water was perfect. It was perfect. The sunrise was beautiful. And I encourage everyone to do it. Dave, so listen, listen, I don't want to give any spoilers. Can't give any spoilers away because you sent me some stuff. Send me another email with some more stuff and I'll make a whole set list. And then and then what Of course. Well, like I said, it might not be the whole set list that I play. And I'm looking at the screen here on YouTube right now when I'm saying this. But so I might not play the whole thing, but I'll be able to at least mix them all up to make it happen. But I think that some of the things that you have brought up will blow some people's minds. I did recognize some of the things that you sent me in the email, but I like to we can't tell anybody yet. Can't tell anybody yet. I don't want to give away the secrets, the deep cut secrets. So, but deep cut, Dave. Listen, I got to get going, and I want to thank you for calling, of course. And we will definitely have some amazing songs brought to us. You know, some deep cuts from none other than Deep Cut Dave. Deep Cut Dave, you have a fantastic weekend.
Hey man, you too, and you want me to send you another email with more recommendations?
Just send it right over. You know where to find me, and like I said, next week we'll blow everybody's minds.
Okay, man.
All right, have a good one, Dave.
Hey, you too, man.
Deep Cut Dave. Deep Cut Dave with the deepest of cuts. The deepest of cuts. And once again, shout out to everybody in YouTube. It's all Toy Cartel. Toy Cartel. Toy Cartel. I can't get too much into that because it's Toy Cartel. Can't go any deeper, you know, I might get in trouble. Anyway, broadcasting live here on Instagram, also broadcasting live here on YouTube. Well, Instagram over there, YouTube over here. How about that? Also, WDCE 90.1 FM and the simple radio app. Search WDCE. You can listen to the show. And like I said, we'll be back here in just a few moments. Man, well, good grief. Are we going to be able to, do it? No. So I was going to be upset. I'm going to be upset if we don't have but we're almost at the top of the hour. Well, it's because we took the phone call. Radio drama. Anyways, broadcasting live from the WDC studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning. Broadcasting live, of course, from the WDCE studios at the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media, of course, reporting Central as well. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Of course, how to listen to us, of course, WDCE 90.1 FM. It's the radio. It's the radio dial. Actually, a real radio show, not just a podcast or anything. Real broadcast radio. Also here on the SamCam. SamCam is live at Sam Newsman on Instagram. People are there live as well. And of course, we are here on YouTube. YouTube over here. That camera is right over here. Been getting different mixed messages about which one works better and this, that, the third, but whatever. So here we are. We're just, once again, setting the standard, raising the bar. Of course, we're except broadcasting here, there, and everywhere. And also coast to coast. People are listening to us all over the country as well. And let's see here. Oh, yes, of course. We wanted to talk about the FBI raid. Oh, my gosh. So here we go. So I had this. So this is the... So I have the New York Times this morning. Here you go. Let me make sure I have the New York Times. New York Times, of course, talking about how criminal inquiry prompted search for the Trump resort. Warrant is made public listing possible violations of the Espionage Act. Federal agents removed top secret documents when they searched former President Donald Trump's Florida residence on Monday as part of an investigation into possible violations of the Espionage Act and other laws, according to a search warrant made public on Friday. Now, remember, just to make sure everybody catches everyone up to speed here. So the judge that signed the warrant actually was he was the judge that took care of Epstein and his associates as well. Okay, so that means that he's completely an above board and nonpartisan individual. Exactly. Well, listen, if he was taking care of Epstein and all his guys, then you know that this guy is above board. He's above board in every single way possible, and that's a fact. So anyways, FBI agents seized 11 sets of documents in all, including some marked as classified. The results, so it was the latest stunning revelation from a series of investigations swirling around Donald Trump's efforts to retain power in his election loss. The results of the search showed that material designated as closely guarded national security secrets were being held at an unsecured resort club. Although from what I understand, that they'd been talking to the FBI prior to then. They told them where the documents were, and the documents are actually declassified. So there is that little part. But they didn't. I guess I don't see that on here. Well, I guess. Oh, I guess that means it didn't happen then, right? Of course, if it's not here on the front page of the New York Times, I guess it's not real. It didn't ring. Oh yeah, except for when they retract stuff and it's on the back page. Anyway, so here we go. Once again, it is here. What is today? Today's the 13th day of August, 2022. 0813-221113. I'm gonna say that again. 0813-221113. If you play those numbers in the lottery and you win something, make sure that I get my cut. But we were sitting there, we were talking to, of course, to Nate a few moments ago. And of course, when I tell you that I have, what was that? Yeah, wait, we have somebody on the line. Yeah, a caller. We have a caller here. Like I said, we have people that are listening all over the country. Yes. And of course, they want to call in, and they just want to talk to us and talk to me. This is a really big broadcast risk here. Big broadcast risk when I sit there and open up the phone lines. But of course, like I said, people are calling from all over the country, coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. And what was that? It's not one of those type of who is it? Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, so hold on. It's the caller. Caller, are you there? Caller, are you there? Hello.
Sometimes I think it's kind of odd that I can only call your radio station from the future, but I guess I'm giving a warning to all those cloud chasers. It's Craig Weekend. That's back in the past, isn't it? August 17th. This is the last weekend you can back to his Craig
Wait, hold on a minute. What?
That's behind the glass. You know that, Dad. For those cloud chasers.
Wait, so wait, hold on. So okay, so this weekend is the last weekend for the hiss, but you're talking about collecting, but so you're no longer collecting. You mentioned something about glass cases, but I remember you telling me before that you collect berries and sticks. My question is that what have you been collecting this week?
This week, Sam, I've been trying to collect my memories. It's such a rough time out here running away from the robot dogs. The robot dogs, they hunt us. They hunt us laborers. They want us to work in the baby making factories. You remember the good old days with the mall? They transformed them into baby making factories. They're no longer any women, Sam, or binary numbers. They're baby making factories. They want us people to work in them. The robot dogs, they hunt us.
Wait, what? No, wait. No. Oh my gosh. So, and that's it. And that. Did we get the signal? Were we able to track the signal? Listen, the general is going to call in here in a minute because here we go. I was sitting there, here we are. We're broadcasting C from Shining Sea, and now I'm having people that are able to call in from the future talking about the robot dogs with machine guns and the Lord Blanket last week of the Hiss tank, but of course, people just buy them just to show. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Wait, were you able to get the signal? Were you able to track were you able to get the hard line? I mean, because that's important. I need to make sure that you got the hard line. Because if you got the hard line, then we got to make sure. Well, right. Anyways, broadcasting live from the WDC studios at the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted pulpit in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman. Of course, we just had the future collector call. We had TNT Nate call earlier up as well. I meant to ask the future collector. Do we still get? He said something about binary and baby making. Do we even know if he's a male or a female? We'll figure that out next week. If he's able to call in, he always runs away because of the robot dogs with machine guns. Well, it's beyond me. It is all beyond me. Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying that there's a phone call? There's another phone call. All right, let's see here. Let's take this one. I'm broadcasting live from the WDC studios at the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and I do have a caller on the phone right now. Caller station, hey man, where you're calling from?
Samuel, you'll know I'll do no such thing.
Sorry, General. Sorry. Well, listen, I had him on the line for a while. Did you not hear it?
I did. In fact, we had to cut the transmission. Anytime we're going to talk about classified military technology, we can't let that kind of stuff leak out to the masses. As a good puppet, you got to be a little bit better under control there, Samuel.
Okay, well, sorry about that, General, but so I tried to keep him on the line and let him talk as much as possible so you could trace the signal to begin with.
Well, I appreciate that, Samuel. We track that signal.
Well, how about malls? Are malls going to make a comeback?
I love Samuel the caller, TNT Nate, or Dino Nate, as I like to say. And, I happen to really agree with him at one area that he and I probably would be aligned on, although not on the application. I think that, from my perspective, malls are much better used for housing.
For housing?
Yeah, housing, like if you need to separate people who are sick from people who aren't sick, or, have political ideas, housing.
Oh, okay, I understand. Oh, so it's for the greater good. For the greater good. I see what you're doing there. You're looking out for you're looking out for yeah, the looking out for your fellow man. Your fellow man. And indeed. Indeed. So general, I like I said, I had TNT Nate on, and then we talked about malls. Then I had the future collector call. Hopefully you got the signal. Was there anything that I needed to tighten up on and button up this week?
No, Samuel, great week for news. Persecution of traders, positive. Big defamation, lawsuit win, jeopardizing free speech system, awesome win. Samuel, I say we're right on track. Just keep in mind, please don't discuss futuristic military technology with the masses. The public. That's not something you're supposed to share. So next time future toy collector gets on and wants to claim he's being hunted by probably nothing more than a puppy dog, then you're going to have to call him out for the fake news that he's spreading. Okay, Samuel?
All right, General. I appreciate you calling in, and like I said, trying to do things that. That's it. Nobody ever says goodbye anymore. It's like I open up, and TNT Nate said goodbye, probably because the only thing I said was happy birthday. Anyway, so here we're broadcasting live WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. Also at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman here on YouTube as well. Simulcasting, setting the standard, raising the bar. Trying not to get in too much trouble by giving away too much military intel and information. So, what do you think? And what do you? They can't hear you. They can't hear you. They can't hear you back there behind the. Anyways, it's just the crew here, just the crew. Anyway, so once again, the crew. I have a crew here behind the glass, and they're talking to me, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it on the other side of the next thing. So, anyways, if you're listening, you're listening to us, and you're watching us here on Instagram. We're also here on YouTube as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tell everybody. We'll be back, of course, in just a few moments with what we learned today and some birthday wishes to Super 17. Shout out to Mandy. And we'll see you on the other side of this. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell. Yes. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning. Let's see. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mandy. Happy birthday to you. Oh, that Game of Thrones is what they play. A house of cards just day by day. The voters losing every way. It's just like I always say, it's sideshow, infotainment, politicians and news anchors, and talking points that make my eardrums bleed. The most trusted puppet in media is me. Yeah. Donald Trump's got quite the past with all FBI, with the FBI all up his ass. An indictment could be coming fast. I doubt it. 'Cause he's always laughing last. That's an observation, not an endorsement. It's sideshow, infotainment, politicians and news anchors, and talking points that make my eardrums bleed. The most trusted puppet in media is me. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman.
I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. I don't think you're giving us a due credit. Scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before. Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could do this, that I think they should.
Well, it's about that time. Yes, we talk about what we learned today. Starting off, of course, we learned that I was up way before all of you watching the sunrise over at Sandbridge, and it was beautiful. And you should have been awake as well. I did post it on my Instagram feed so you can see what a sunrise over the Atlantic Ocean on a beautiful morning can look like at Sam Newsman on Instagram. What else did we do? Oh yeah, I picked up the Virginia Pilot. Don't ever pick that up that often, but of course there is. Yes, counterfeit diabetes socks. Is that what it was? Diabetic counterfeit socks. Yeah, the whole country's burning down in all other aspects, but guess what? You know what's important to them down there at the beach is those diabetic socks. And you know they should be. They should. You don't want to have counterfeit those. It's a scam. It's a scam. You don't want that to happen. What else? Oh, the impeachment? No. Yeah, indictment a real possibility. Punishments he could face. Espionage Act violations. Obstruction of justice. Stash seized from Mar-a-Lago. It was top secret. That's what it is. That's what they say. Merrick Garland got up. He didn't even say anything. Just said, hey, yeah, I was the one who ordered it. White House doesn't say anything about it. I don't even know what the hell's going on. What? What do you mean that I should know just because I'm a puppet? Well, what if I do know and I'm just not going to tell you about it? Why? Because it's classified. What if I were to tell you that I did know things that were happening behind the scenes, but it's all classified military intelligence? Yeah. But I can't sit there and tell you why, is because, of course, I've been reporting since Roswell. So they know that I know how to keep a secret. You listen, you heard the general call me up, just making sure that I'm continuing to do a great job. If I've been doing this since Roswell, then you know that I know exactly what I'm doing, right? No funny business around here. Nothing but scripted lines. And of course, talking points that are given to me from on high. Well, that's what people want from their media puppets. Of course. What else happened? Oh, here you go. Colleges. We're broadcasting live from a college. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios at the University of Richmond. Once again, you're listening to 90.1 FM at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Twitter. Broadcasting here on YouTube and also on Instagram. See, this colleges warn students about monkeypox risks as the fall term approaches. Virus transfers from a human to dog for the first time. Facebook is tracking user and internet history and your credit cards. Search warrants for abortion data leave tech companies with few options. Forget inflation, shrinkflation, sparking furies for shoppers. And consumers are still spending money on fun. Can the F-150 Lightning make everyone want a truck that plugs in? Probably not. American astronaut Jessica Watkins sets her sight on the moon and Mars. Somebody tell us that neither one of them are real. What else do we have here? Okay. Respected snake researcher dies from a rattlesnake bite. Ouch. For a 327 square foot apartment with 5 rooms, thanks to robot furniture. Robot furniture. Are they in conjunction with the dogs with robot machine guns? The robot dogs with machine guns. That's what that is. What? Well, I don't know about that. $25 million super yacht bursted in flames. Oprah has a lawsuit against an unauthorized podcast. Omicron is considered milder, but scientists aren't so sure. Once again, all of these. Anne Hatch, dead at 53. And what else? Oh, here you go. Biggest polio threat in years sparks alarms from New York to California. So polio. So monkeypox isn't the big thing. It's polio. We need to worry about polio. Polio that was eradicated that just comes back. Of course, that's... Line them up again. Line them up and take a jab. That's it. Corporate jabs. Corporate jabs, of course, the ones that work. And make sure that you check your doctor before you, go and get any corporate jabs. But if it's a corporate jab, it should be just fine. So here we are once again. What's the last thing that we have? What? We have a birthday. A birthday for who? Mandy. Mandy, happy birthday. 17 years old. Not many people get to have a dog that's 17 years old. Mandy, you're the best. Shout out to girlfriend. Of course, that's what we call her around the place. Happy birthday, Mandy. I'll be back next week, of course. 9 o'clock, hopefully. Maybe even sooner, who knows. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman. And this is Saturday Morning Radio.